Hello everyone, before we start today's video, if you could all do me a solid and lightly tap the like button, perhaps share the video about and leave a comment. If you are not subscribed, subscribe as well. It would greatly help this channel. Thank you very much. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Captain's Log, Subdates 220621.3. After a senior staff meeting, we decided to quell the NPC crew rage by going for the feet. That way, once those two fat pricks fall, we can claim they attacked us and call in an exterminatus. It's a very Ralph male thing to do, to be honest. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I would like to discuss Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller, much like Amber Heard, has been doing a lot of trending on Twitter of late. Granted, in the case of Amber Heard, it's still ongoing, and is entirely because Amber Heard is a liar, is a psychopath according to Twitter, and deserves prison, and should be removed from Aquaman 2. There is certainly a petition large enough to support that. In the case of Ezra Miller, the main trends have been Ezra Miller, The Flash, and Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers run the DC EU. The DC Extended Universe include Aquaman and The Flash. The Flash movie itself has been delayed numerous times. I had thought that it was delayed because of COVID. I am certain that is indeed a factor. Another would be that Ezra Miller themselves has caused a number of issues with production. We've all seen clips now. People are waiting for this movie to come out. People expect it to do reasonably well because people like the klutzy character of Barry Allen, and not the bit-part idiot version from the Joss Whedon Justice League. In the case of both Aquaman and The Flash though, Warner Brothers have been very reluctant to publicly state whether they intend, because of the mounting controversies involving Amber Heard and Ezra Miller, to remove either from their projects, or outrightly confirm whether either will feature in future Warner Brothers DC projects, with many positing that the reason for that is because representation, wokeness and other bollocks like that. I'm not entirely sure what the reason is personally, but I know that people do believe this enough that it has gained a fair bit of steam. To go back though to provide you with suitable context, on the Omegon 2 Electric Boogaloo channel I have done 2 videos. The first one is titled Ezra Miller's Arrest. In that video we discussed what happened in Hawaii to Ezra Miller, and rather than have you go there and watch the full video, I'm going to play a clip of it now. In the 170th, I've done more than that, it's ridiculous at this point, exhibition of stupid people, I spoke about Ezra Miller being arrested in Hawaii for a number of things. Ezra Miller got a little bit aggressive, and Ezra Miller was incapable of accessing the Speed Force to get out of the situation before it got out of hand, no doubt believing that Ezra Miller was above it. Ezra Miller had actually spat on someone's face during a game of darts. Bodycam footage from the police officers of Ezra Miller's arrest was released publicly, where Ezra Miller says a few rather interesting things, but also had a number of things confiscated, not least the deadliest of weapons that anyone can carry, a Nerf gun.
Central 36, will be 10-7.
No, I got assaulted and I started filming. I can show you the video.
Let's talk stories outside.
Let's talk story outside.
Ezra Miller, this is no warrants, but he's caution code unstable, 29 Caucasian Hill.
I got assaulted in this bar twice in a row. I film myself when I get assaulted for NFT crypto art. What's your name? What's your badge number? Tell me your name and your badge number. White key.
Ezra.
Full name, full badge number. Tell me your name and your badge number. Tell me your name and your badge number. Please don't touch me. Tell me your name and your badge number. Now. Tell me your name and your badge number now.
136. Sir,
You.
get off the road.
Ezra, come over here. Tell us what happened.
Oh, come back to the
Where is he?
All the way down.
Holy.
Central 420. What are we on Blue Noise?
Central 131.
I'm being arrested for disorderly conduct.
Yeah.
I was assaulted.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not sorry.
You can disregard.
You could have took that thing real quick.
You spit in somebody's face.
A guy in that bar declared himself as a Nazi. I have it on film and he attacked me.
Okay, so?
Can you guys start heading to...
There is, however, more context. Upon being arrested and searched, Ezra shouted, "I'm transgender non-binary and do not want to be searched by a man," along with saying those are Nerf guns, those are fake, they are a toy. Please don't take them from me. The flash ring means a lot to me. It's very valuable. Along with shouting, "Hey, you just touched my penis." As shenanigans are taking place on this channel, please go there and subscribe. Thank you very much. In a second video on the same channel, I started to discover that Ezra Miller is becoming more and more of a vaunted lolcow, because more accusations had come to light from a family concerning Ezra, and these accusations are quite serious, handled poorly by Ezra Miller, who taunted the family on Instagram before deleting their Instagram, and by the daughter that the family claim Ezra has groomed and manipulated. The daughter's response was to make a video on Instagram and look like a quintessential hostage, and exceedingly high. And just now, to provide context, I'm going to play the clip from that video as well. Today I would like to again talk about Ezra Miller, as an accusation has come to light, one that may have you think of people like Onision. So one does now have to wonder if Flashpoint is suddenly going to magically change time for all of us, so that Ezra Miller's record is squeaky clean. You know, just like Jared Fogel's. Parents say actors taking control of their daughter and ask court for protective order. Ezra Miller is not only a bad influence, they're a danger to the well-being of an 18-year-old woman, at least according to her parents, who are asking a court to step in and keep the actor away from her. According to new legal documents obtained by TMZ, Toccata Iron Eyes met a then 23-year-old Miller in 2016 when she was 12, and the actor was visiting the Standing Rock Reservation in North Dakota. From there, Toccata's parents say she and Ezra developed a friendship they believe puts Toccata at risk. Toccata's parents say Miller flew her to London in 2017 to visit the studio where Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them was filmed, and she was a big fan, and Miller was a star in the movie. At the time of the trip, they say Toccata was 14, Ezra 25. As the friendship continued, Toccata's parents claim Ezra supplied their underage daughter with alcohol, marijuana, and LSD. Not only that, they claim Ezra disrupted Toccata's schooling at a private institute in Massachusetts, so much so she dropped out in December of 2021. So far, this is quite serious stuff. Because the parents were getting very suspicious of what was going on, they flew out to Ezra Miller's home in Vermont to get their daughter, only to discover she didn't have in her possession her driver's license, car keys, bank card, and other items needed to navigate life independently, like a cell phone. When they looked at Toccata, they found bruises on her body, which they allege Ezra Miller caused. After she got home, Toccata's parents claim that she fled to New York City to reunite with Ezra, and from there, the pair have been traveling together to Vermont, Hawaii, and Los Angeles. The two were in fact spotted at a club in Hawaii. In those same documents, the parents state that Ezra uses violence, intimidation, threats of violence, fear, paranoia, delusions, and drugs to hold sway over a young adolescent Toccata. They've also claimed that Ezra has told Toccata to solely go by a different name, a nickname that she formerly used with family and friends, Gibson, like the guitar. They also believe that Ezra has been pushing their own ideas onto Toccata. For example, they firmly believe that Ezra Miller pushed Toccata to identify as non-binary transgender. Toccata has been active on Instagram and did put out a statement concerning this, saying, "I'd like to make a statement to acknowledge the tragedy that is the narrative of the general public and the assumptions made on my behalf by my family and friends regarding my stability and otherwise. I dropped out of BARD 5 months ago. My friend and comrade William passed shortly thereafter. My mind was incredibly impacted, and I needed space and time for the processing of grief. My comrade Ezra Miller, for the entirety of the aforementioned era, has only provided loving support and invaluable protection throughout this period of loss. I am in no way or under any circumstance have ever been during my short-lived adulthood in need of a conservatorship. My father and his allegations hold no weight, and are quite frankly transphobic and based in the notion that I am somehow incapable of coherent thought or opposing opinions to those of my own kindred worrying about my well-being. I am now aware of the severity of emotional and psychological manipulation I was made to endure while in my parents' home. I am an adult, and I deserve to feel authority in my own body. I am tired of wondering whether or not cops will show up to section me on a daily basis. I have decided upon a therapist, and I'm excited to now engage in conversation with a mental health professional about my anxiety and probable depression. The vast majority of the comments from people have essentially said, Stockholm Syndrome, you are a victim, sounds like you were groomed and you've ignored the fact that Ezra has been accused of abusing you. So now with all of that, I want to go through some recent updates that have transpired concerning Ezra Miller. Let's start with discussing film. Ezra Miller will not be part of any future DC projects after The Flash, regardless if there are more allegations or not. There has currently been no decision made on how to deal with their involvement in The Flash, with Ranting Monkey pointing out, you redid the tweet because you got Ezra's pronoun wrong. I'm somewhat surprised you didn't beg for forgiveness and then ask for an edit button. There are articles that have been circulating from IGN and The Direct, indicating that Warner Brothers isn't likely to keep Ezra Miller in the Flash role in future DC films. The sources come apparently from within Warner Brothers themselves, with Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav and his teams heading towards a potential first movie crisis as The Flash's June 23, 2023 approaches. One outlet had heard that Warner Brothers had attempted to get help for Ezra Miller, with no indication as to whether or not Ezra accepted the help. TMZ on Twitter, Ezra Miller is reportedly getting booted from the DCEU after the yet-to-be-released Flash movie, so I'm guessing they're not going to simply reshoot all of Ezra Miller's scenes for the sake of continuity. I keenly await who they cast to replace Ezra Miller. You can be certain they're going to trigger the living feck out of everyone when they switch for someone completely different. You probably should just go with Wally West, it's the easiest option really. According to Geekosity, Warner Brothers have since removed Ezra Miller as a confirmed for future Flash projects, with it being alleged that the CEO's plan is to make DC an explosively successful division like Marvel under his newly structured studio with its own new boss, and Ezra Miller does not factor into those plans going forward in the future universe regardless if there are more allegations or not. Some had suggested that perhaps this movie should just go straight to HBO Max, but that might not be an option because this movie has cost $200 million to make. For that kind of price tag, it has to go to a cinema, but will anyone actually turn up to watch it for it to even break even when Ezra Miller has become more and more of a divisive figure, and when accusations of grooming, abuse, and video evidence of some of this rather interesting behavior towards police officers does its rounds? Can you reasonably put out a movie knowing it might struggle now? Let's just ignore the fact that many people are suffering from superhero burnout and focus on the fact that people have been wanting a Flash movie for years, and because of the issues that cause the delays, by the time it comes out, there will more than likely be more controversies to add to Ezra Miller's ledger, which is a shame really, because no lie, I genuinely like Ezra Miller as the Flash. I really do. I know some will think that Grant Gustin could actually be a good replacement, but it is more likely if Ezra Miller is replaced, Ezra Miller will be replaced by someone completely different. I know a lot of people within the Ezra Miller trending tag hyper-focused on pronouns. I know how important it is to identify people with their pronouns, I really do. In the context of the allegations, many consider that to be utterly secondary, and if you hyper-focus on the pronoun, you forget what the main problem is. The main problem has nothing to do with Ezra Miller's pronouns. Treating people with a modicum of respect? Sure, even if it is from somebody who will not show you the same respect.